Hi everyone, this is Andrei from psdbox.com. This is a video demonstration or walkthrough for this wallpaper, dark wallpaper tutorial. This received some comments from people that got stuck on steps 3 and 4 because there's some advanced masking there. So I'll try to make a video demonstration to show you how you can get those to work. So I'm not using the exact same process as on the text tutorial because I didn't memorize it, but you'll get the same results. So create the document. I'm using the same size as on the text tutorial, and for the background I'm using fill layers. Fill layers, but the gradient one, not the solid color. And reset and get. I think I still remember the numbers here. I think it's 181818, and for the other one it's 08 maybe. Well, something like that. Let's see. No, it's 1B, not 18. I think this is better. Well, we'll see. Set it to radio and reverse. Yeah, it looks great. Okay, now let's add the pattern. If you're watching this from YouTube, there's a link on the video description to the article so that you can download all these shapes and patterns and everything you need for this tutorial. And before I create the shapes, which you can also download from the website. I'll create the guides. 50%, and there you go, 50% horizontal and vertical. These are very helpful. You can easily center your elements on the document, and while you draw, just make sure you press shift. See how the aspect ratio locks there, and you create a perfect shape. The color for this is a light gray, 60% gray or something like that. I'll call this top. Duplicate it with Ctrl J. Let's call this bottom. Okay, flip it vertical, make some space there, and now let's just align. I selected both layers with Ctrl T, and you can see this. I don't know if you can see it really well. This dot here, just align it with the center of the guides, and they're perfectly centered now. And here comes the masking, where some people got stuck. This pattern must only be visible on the top and bottom part, so we have to mask the middle section, but also the underneath the shapes, the custom shapes, so it only has to go until right here on the edges. So let's the easiest way to do that is with the rectangular marquee tool. So get this and just fill with black to mask it. But if you decrease the opacity of one of the shapes, you will see that we still have that pattern here, which we don't want, because later on we will create the holes here, and you will see that through the shape. So we have to mask that as well. So for that, just select the vector mask, hold Ctrl and click to load the selection, and go back to the pattern layer mask and just fill that selection with black. And now the pattern goes all the way here to the edges, so that's what we want. Just do the same for the top shape. I'll decrease the opacity so you can see it, and watch this disappear from here as I mask it. That's it, and it's gone. Now we can change the blend mode of the pattern to soft light. Okay, well, actually I have to increase the opacity of this back to 100%. The next step is to add the noise texture. Just create a new layer above the pattern and fill it with black, and go to filter, noise, add noise. Well, I did select the layer first, and I have to fill with black now. Okay, filter, noise, add noise. Okay, 100% is okay. Just make sure it's set to monochromatic and click OK. And we have to do the masking here as well. Create a layer mask, but here we want the opposite. We want to mask the top and the part underneath the shapes, the custom shapes, and only leave visible the center part. So again, with the rectangular marquee tool, select the area you want to mask, fill it with black, and now with the help of the vector shapes, control click to load the selection, fill the selection with black. You're not able to see that because the opacity of the shapes is 100%. Let's do something like this so you can see it. Now, okay, and now I have the masking part done. So if I hide the custom shapes, you can see how the textures look now. This is the pattern fill on the top and on the bottom, this one. The noise texture here in the middle, and this thing that you see here is the original gradient fill. So let's ungroup this too. You can actually work on one shape if you want and then go to the other one, but because they are identical, but I prefer to work like this. And now let's create those holes that I told you about. For that I need a custom brush, so I have to make a new document. 300 by 300 is okay. Just make sure it's higher than the height of the shape itself. And the rectangular marquee tool, rectangular selection, again select that, and from the drop down list choose the fixed size style, and the width 17, and the height anything from 250 to 300 is okay. And fill that selection with black, and go to edit and define custom preset, brush preset, and click OK. I'm not gonna do that because I already have two created. So once you do that, close the document, don't have to save it. And now let's work with the top shape. Create a new layer on top of it, select the brush tool and select the brush that you created, and select any color that you want. It's usually best to select a color that is not already in the document, so you can see what you're doing, like that. Actually I have to change the blend mode of the noise to overlay and change the opacity to 20%, and also add some Gaussian blur, like 0.3 is okay. Okay, let's back to the holes here. So get the brush, and we want to create the holes using this brush, but before we do that we need to increase the spacing to 170, like that. Close that and position yourself like this. Leave a space here on the edge. Press shift, click and drag, and now you're creating a straight shape. Oop, I messed up. I have to do it again. Sorry for that. Okay, and you'll see that most of the times you'll end up with half a shape, half a rectangle like here. No problem, just select it, remove it. Now press Control H to reveal those guides that we made earlier, and with Control T you load the transform tool, and you see this center point. Just align it with the guide, and you're ready. Now make sure the shapes, these rectangles, are higher than your custom shape, and select the vector mask of the custom shape. Actually, let me hide the guides, and control click that vector shape and go to select, modify, contract 10 pixels and click OK. Now select the pink rectangles layer, go to select, inverse, and press delete. I don't need Gaussian here. And there you go, we have the shapes ready. We can create the holes now. One other thing that I did, I created the rounded corners here. You can leave it like this if you like it, but I'll show you how you do that. Just load the selection of this with control click and go to select, modify, smooth, and 3 pixels were okay for me. And now go to select, inverse, and press delete to remove the corners, and you have rounded corners now. So all those keystrokes that you see down here are automatic, so just shows you what keystrokes I'm using for zooming and for selecting and deselecting and all that. Now that we have this ready, we can create the holes on the shape. Control click to load the selection, and you can hide this. And well, actually I should have made the layer mask first, but if you hold the Alt key while you create the layer mask, it creates an inverted layer mask. So now just do the same for the bottom shape, or you can just copy this layer mask and flip it vertical, which I'm gonna do right now. I'm holding down the Alt key, and you can see the holes now because the layer mask is still up here. So I first unlinked it so I can move it without moving the shape itself. I'm holding down Shift and dragging down the mask, flip it vertical, and like that. Now link it back on, and you're done.